If you're struggling with hitting depth on your squat, I'm going to share a couple things. I'm going to break it up into 4 sections. The first section is mobility, second is endurance, third is strength, and the fourth, I'm just going to go over general tips. First, start out with your feet, your legs kind of out in front of you, and then you want to kind of bring your ankles to your glutes, to your butt, kind of like you're sitting on the side. So, and just simply push this leg to the back. That's all you're doing. Okay, so now that you're in this position, you can put your legs out farther if you can't come up in this range of motion. All you have to do is, again, start from here, shift your weight to one side, and move your feet to the side. Put your weight on the back of your hands, and you're going to shift your legs to the side, shift your legs to the side. This is a really great exercise because it will help get that range of motion in the hip joint. So this is the thing, when it comes to anatomy, everybody's hip anatomy is different. So your depth may look a little different. Avoid comparing yourself to other people who have a different squat mechanic than you because they don't have the same anatomy as you. I would suggest practicing this possibly every day. You want to start with your hands behind you first. And as you get more advanced, you can take your hands off the floor and shift. Okay. Very effective, really helping about 2 sets of 10 every day. Leg, I'm shifting this leg internally and then rotating it externally. Very, very important, especially if you're using too much machines too often. Your hips are going to get stiff at some point. And you're going to shift your weight onto this leg. Okay, now what we're working here is the adductor here, my glute medius on my left glute, on my left leg. And then I'm also trying to get this ankle to be a little bit more mobile. You want to practice this. This is a really good warm-up for squats before you do a heavy movement, or if you're just, into just general fitness. This is one of my favorites. Keeping this knee in line with that big toe, really important. So shifting my weight, center, shifting my weight, center. Dude, you're going to take a stick and you're going to put it behind your back. So one arm on your head, one arm on your hips. Okay, like so, almost like you have a sword. Okay, you're going to hold this stick. And what you're going to do is you're going to hinge from your hips. It's teaching you how to engage those hips as you hinge forward. To use the stick, the purpose of the stick is to teach you how to keep a neutral spine when you're squatting. So some people may tend to do this and they lose this distance from the hips to the stick. So if I show you from the side, same thing. I squat back and up. Some people may do this, okay, and this is incorrect, right? So obviously as the weight gets heavier when you're squatting, you're going to have a little bit of some flexion as you come back up out of the hole. But the goal is always to keep that neutral spine. Okay, but this teaches you how to keep that neutral spine and that chest out as you're squatting. And then once you can do this, now you can come up and squat. Same thing. Okay, this really teaches you how to keep that chest up as you're squatting. Really effective. You can also try it in the standing position. Okay, all right, so this exercise is called the fire hydrant. And what this is going to do, it's going to teach you how to use your glutes when you are in this quadruped position. So up to 90 degrees, and then we're going to push the knee out so that the knee is in line with the hip. Notice I'm not doing this. I'm not shifting my weight. I'm keeping my hips parallel to the floor, and I'm coming back down. Okay, parallel to the floor, back center, parallel to the floor, back center. What this is going to do is going to open up those hips. Put this, pretending this weight on my leg, okay? And now we're going to work on this ankle right here, roller right here, and I'm going to lean and back center. Lean, back center. Knee over my toe. We're pretending this is a weight. Let's pretend this is 25 pounds. We're going to put the weight here to help us push the ankle so that, get it more mobile, get that more increased dorsiflexion. We're gonna get that knee past our toe and come back up, forward, come back up. You should also feel a pull right here. Okay, that is a good thing. If you don't feel a pull, push your hips forward. All right, so that was the mobility of squatting. I broke it mainly down into the ankles and like the hips. Some people don't realize and often forget that everybody's designed a little differently. So your anatomy is going to be different than your friends, and you can't compare yourself because there is an anatomical difference in the ball and socket, the orientation of your hip. In other words, it does matter. And some people's hips have a deeper socket, like they're able to kind of go a little lower naturally because the ball and socket joint, you have this kind of curvature. Some people's are a little bit more deep. Some people are a little bit more, I guess, shallow or flat. And for those that are kind of a little bit more flat, they may have a difficult time going a little lower. However, work on that and you can actually get yourself lower. So if I'm going to goblet squat, I'm going to pretend this is my weight, all right, and I'm going to squat down. The goblet squat helps you strengthen those quadriceps and really pushes you kind of forward, which forces you in a way back, which is a good thing. You can also do the safety squat bar, which is right behind me, right there with the handles in front. Show you how to kind of keep that chest out and up. Okay, I'd rather you do lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of reps so that you can get the coordination down. It's very important before you load your body with a lot of weight. This is my professional opinion. I think that it's really important to get the reps in with quality form before you load your body with a lot of weight. You may not realize that you're going to want to strengthen those ankles. So I'm going to show you an exercise that you can do to strengthen your ankles. Close your feet like so, and you're going to bring your feet together and then push them out. Neutral, back home, center, out, neutral, back home, center, out. Do that for reps. That will really, really, really strengthen your ankles that no one talks about. Now you just know the secret sauce. Do leg press. So as I mentioned earlier, some people may disagree with me on this. Squat is when you're able to leg press a lot of weight. If you notice, you can position your feet in different ways. You may find squatting to depth a little easier because there is a little bit of a carryover, more so a leg press carryover to deadlifting. That you can do to help you get lower in the squat is to try a weighted belted squat. Newer machine, but basically what you do is you put a belt and you're going to squat down, and you're going to squat typically in a kind of a ballerina position, but it will really help to open up those hips, strengthen the inner hips. Lastly is how to get a little lower in the squat is to simply just start squatting. A target in which you try to reach when you're squatting. So if I have a target like right here, I'm going to squat to that target and then come back up. Squat to the target, come back up. Then you lower the target. So you can use a yoga block. You can use a medicine ball. All right, a couple more tips, really simple. The first one is simply push your knees out, okay? When you're squatting, those knees out, okay? All right, we got Mr. Stick here in a way that I feel strong in. Notice keyword is I feel strong. Some people may say, oh, well, that's not the right position. You tell them to shut up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is high bar. This is low bar. All right, high bar, low bar. I'm going to squat 1 to 45 degrees. Come back up. Okay, let's go to 9 degrees. Big breath in. Big squat all the way down. 9 degrees, 9 degrees, 9 degrees. And I come back up like this. And it looks uncomfortable unless that works for you. But I like to keep my head neutral with my back. So I start here, I'm looking down, and I hinge, and I come back up. So I do a slight lean. Okay. Some people, like Olympic weightlifting, they typically will squat high bar and they can have their chest out a little bit more. Okay. But with low bar, it's a little harder because you're using a little bit more hips. So you're a little bit leaned forward. So when I squat, I'm leaned forward here. What you do is you can use Olympic weightlifting shoes. I probably wouldn't make that my first choice. So if you are new to fitness, I would suggest people that are new to fitness in general, try to avoid those shoes. Try to train flat as much as possible. unless you don't have a like an arch. I know some people are really flat, and those kind of shoes really helps them to avoid like feet pain. You can train your body as with minimal stuff as possible. You really learn your body than trying to rely on external stuff. Using Olympic weightlifting shoes doesn't negate the ability to work on those ankles, the ankle mobility. You don't want to neglect those ankles. Okay, your ankles are so important, especially if you're a woman and you use heels often, because the heels do weaken the ankles over time. Okay, thank you for watching today's video. I hope that this was useful and you found value in it. All right, I'll see you in the next video.